Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Coffee with Craig. It is a pleasure to have you. Once again, please make it a point to like and share this video feed so that your friends can become our friends and join us in the conversation. Also, please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow our Facebook page. We're doing a ton of action alerts. We got a lot of things going on right now. And if you want to be in the know and you want to know where you can take action, hey, that FPC is the place to be. So please make sure to follow our Facebook page. Now, if you're not on Facebook, then all you really got to do is go to firearmspolicy.org and sign up for our action alerts. You'll get the same information, if not more, via email. That's all you need to do. Also wanted to remind you, just for those of you who were not aware, FPC gear is once again open, and you'll have a chance to get your Don't Tread on Me Gadsden flag t-shirt in honor of the young man in Washoe County in Nevada who decided to wear our t-shirt in defiance of tyranny by the Washoe County School District. Well, needless to say, we took him to court on his behalf in order to support him. So know that any purchase that you make at FPC Gear will support that fight and all of the other fights that we are engaged in. And that's not the only T-shirt that's available there. You've got a ton of different options. You've got the ladies Gadsden flag T-shirt. You've got the right to bear arms. You've also got the gun rights T-shirt, and many, many more will soon be coming online. So please go there. Where do you go? You go to fpcgear.com. That's fpcgear.com in order to find out what you can get and where. So moving right along, a lot of people don't realize, and a lot of you think, well, okay, well, FPC, we know you're in California, we know that you're you're lobbying in DC, but we also lobby in several other states, including Nevada, Oregon, and Washington, and we have with us our legislative advocate and longtime Second Amendment advocate for the firearms, not just for the Firearms Policy Coalition, but even beyond that. We have Phil Watson, and we've had Phil Watson on the show before, and now he's here in studio at FPC HQ, and he's here to kind of let us know what's going on in Washington State.
Well, Washington, like the other states on the West Coast, is experiencing an influx of anti-Second Amendment initiatives funded by billionaires. So whatever they can't get to pass the legislature up there, they try to put it on the ballot, and they're doing that up there this year in Washington, up north of where you guys here are in California.
Wow. So what are the chances, or what's the likelihood of these initiatives, one, getting on the ballot, and then number two, once they're on the ballot, what's the likelihood of them actually passing?
I think it's pretty likely that they'll get on the ballot, and it's a 50-50 shot if it'll pass or not, because I think these initiatives are definitely going to be funded by billionaires, and they'll pay $5 to $10 to get people to sign it, and they'll put lies on the airways to try to convince voters to vote for it.
You mean gun control advocates lie? Say it ain't so.
Absolutely, Craig. So yeah, I mean, this initiative specifically in Washington State, there's all kinds of stuff in there that people will probably not find, a good thing. Extra taxes that people have to pay, mandatory training that's pretty much arbitrary, waiting periods, banning 18 to 21-year-olds from being able to protect themselves or their families. So there's a lot to definitely oppose in this initiative in Washington State, and there's also initiatives that have been filed in Oregon as well that are similar to the one in Washington State. So there's going to be a lot of initiatives at the state level this election year, possibly on the ballot.
So in other words, because the legislature is not successful in taking their rights, there are people who are saying, well, let's go directly to the people and have them take away their own rights.
Right. And there's a lot of funding behind that, of course, as we know. And, the media is definitely in the tank for the other team as well. So it's definitely something that our members and supporters need to pay attention to. if we bring it to your attention, it's definitely definitely a worthy cause to try and take up against that.
The thing that bothers me the most about this is we all know that gun laws are, it's highly technical. When you start talking about technology and you start interacting that with policy, it's some of the toughest stuff to deal with. And oftentimes members and their staff don't have a lot of knowledge. They don't have enough knowledge about what this is and how to deal with this stuff. So then when you start getting into, the average John Q. citizen understanding, at that point, you're no longer debating the actual bill or what it does, but you're more getting into just the concept of, do you want more gun control or less gun control?
Right. And we have to remember, we have to keep in mind is the strategy from gun control groups going back to the 1980s is actually to muddy the water for the average citizen that doesn't have a lot of firearms knowledge or Second Amendment knowledge at all. So that's a very good strategy for them to use. They know that, and they've been doing it for something like 30 something years now. So that's their strategy, is to muddy the waters and even lie if they need to in order to convince people to pass their bills. And so people like us need to get out there, not just get on the internet and talk on the internet, but our members and supporters, hey, talk to your friends and family, because every vote that we can get counts. And frankly, I've found a lot of people in the past, when some of these initiatives have been on the ballot, just don't vote because they figure, hey, there's guys like Craig and Phil out there that are working for me. I don't need to vote, and that's just not true. Everyone needs to vote, and you have to vote every year. So,
all right. So when will we actually know if this is going to be a battle in Washington, Oregon? When will we actually know if these initiatives have qualified for the ballot?
Well, first we'll know Washington, and that'll be in the first part of July, just after the 4th of July. So we'll find out real soon here whether or not that's going to be a big fight, and it will be a big fight because their strategy, as we know, is the West Coast Wall, and after they're done building the West Coast Wall of gun control, they're going to move on to the interior of the United States and work on this domino theory that they have of, just taking down one state at a time from the West Coast on in. So that's, it's a big deal.
See, folks, it's not just me. I know you guys look at me sometimes. You guys look at these and like, oh man, Craig, you're just, you're playing Chicken Little and you're acting like, well, hey, this isn't going to happen. Look, Phil is telling you the same exact thing. These folks, they have a plan. They have a strategy. They're trying to go East Coast, West Coast, and now that as soon as they get that West Coast wall up, they're gonna start to sweep their way through the middle states. And here's what's happened. This is the thing a lot of people don't realize is there's a mass exodus out of states like California, and people are moving out of California into places like Idaho, into Arizona, into Nevada, into places that are pro-gun states. And these are not necessarily pro-gun people. These are people who realize that their dollars can go a lot farther in those states. Well, when they move, they're bringing some of them are bringing their anti-gun tendencies and anti-Second Amendment, anti-civil rights policies with them. And as they do that, they're going to start to try and pass some of these policies. So you got to help us stop it where it is now. Help us fight now on the front lines in places like Washington, Oregon, California, and Nevada, so that those of you who are in the safe states, so that you know it's not going to come to you because you've helped stop it on the front lines. Am I right?
Oh, you're at 100% right, because it's just a simple strategy they have, and quite honestly, if it keeps working for them, they're going to keep doing it. So we've got to stop them.
Exactly. Well, folks, that's going to be it for today's Coffee with Craig. I appreciate you guys tuning in. And Phil, thank you so much for coming by and for visiting us here in Sacramento. Folks, remember, like and share all of these videos. Let people know, look, this is information that you're not going to get a lot of places. This is information that they're not going to get a lot of places. You don't have to be a firearms policy expert. All you have to do is know how to hit share. And when you know how to hit share, and then your friends can get the very same information that you have, and they can get the very same motivation that you have, and they can help us fight for our civil rights. Once again, FPC, home in the fight for civil rights. Got to use them, or we're going to lose them. You guys take care.
If you like our videos, follow, subscribe, like, and share.